Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Racha Kodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akia. And this is your brother Abawan, back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Racha Kodash, all praises and glory is due. And this is going to be a response to this video. Does precept really need to be upon precept, refuting one West Israelism? And just so you get the idea of who exactly this Prince of Power person is, let's look at the first comment that was put in his comment section. We got to have a debate on, is truth more important than being pragmatic, or deontology versus utilitarianism? I'm on the side of deontology, not deontology. Deontology versus utilitarianism. I'm on the side of utilitarianism in this debate. Thought experiments, and he already lost me when he was talking about having the debate between, is truth more important than being pragmatic. But this is where he really, just in case you're not understanding, like I didn't understand what he was getting at until I read this thought experiment. If IUIC is getting biblical text but being more effective in cleaning up the black community and bringing down the crime rates, and that's basically what he's trying to say. So basically, what he's trying to say is that, which camp is better? A camp that helps the black community, even though we are not black, right? Black is a byword, black is a proverb. We are the Hebrew Israelites, and we are only dealing with the elect of the nation of Israel. So he's asking, the camp that helps the so-called black community, or a camp that just focuses on pushing the truth, focuses on bringing out the precepts, and focuses on trying on sealing the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Which camp is better? And basically, he's arguing that the camp that does help on with the so-called black community rather than pushing scriptures is better, and that shows you the kind of people that we're dealing with here. So basically, the argument this guy is making is that, well, precept upon precept isn't what you one West Jakes say it means, right? Because when you talk about precept upon precept, let's get that precept. Let's get that precept. Even I'm doing it, and it's funny because this dude, if you watch his video, listen to him, that he's following the one West doctrine to a certain extent, right? He's not calling upon the true names, but you know that his teaching was influenced heavily by the one West doctrine. Well, of course, let me see if I can find that. Okay, that means it's Isaiah 28. So this is the book of Isaiah 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. And basically, the argument he was making is that, oh, well, you see that stammering lips arc, that stammering lips they wrote there. That's what it means when you go precept upon precept. They are using stammering lips to speak unto our people. Listen. And if you go into the actual root word for the word stammering lips here, you see that this is actually going to is a more or less. Let's just get it first. And the apostles have also gone into this, but I want to bring it out right here, so I won't actually. Okay, and the word here is la. Hold on. Law, and what there is law, and you know how confusing this Assyrian script is. That's the la, that's the ayan, and that's the ga, I believe. Yeah, that's the ga. So the word should be la ayan la aig, like no la aig, la aig, as in lig. The la, the I, and the ga. So this is the word right here for stammering, mocking, mocker, basically, so when you see the apostles out there being in a playful tone, just having fun with the truth. That's what the stammering lips is going into. So the word here is la. And I don't know how to pronounce this thing, and I'll just leave it at beg. But the word should be la aig. So yeah, to mock, deride, ridicule, to mock, deride, have in derision, to stammer, to mock, deride. So basically, what it means is just that's what that's going into. But the idea that he's giving is that, oh well, the stammering lips is when you go precept upon precept like the one words do. Basically, what we teach is that the precepts are going into the scriptures, okay? Because if you go into this word precept, let's get that in the blue letter as well. The word precept goes back to the Hebrew word law, lawyer. The word here is sha. The word here is this is the that's the sha taza. The word here is tazawa. Hold on. Yeah, Tazawa. That's the word here in the. That makes me think of the brother that Tazawa. Anyway, that's the word there, Tazawa. So this is Tazawa, command, ordinance, oracle, used in mocking mimicry of Isaiah's word, and thus not a true divine. What's this going into? Man, the bullet be going out sometimes. I don't even know what this is talking about. But the word here for precept is Tazawa, right? So yeah, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And basically, what that means is that whenever you go into the scriptures, sometimes the spirit just jumps on you and you remember another precept, another scripture that is going into the same thing, and you want to go and get that scripture. And the spirit jumps on you again, and you remember that, oh well, this now that what I'm going into, there is another scripture that actually connects to that, and you go and jump to that scripture, right? Because the Bible isn't written in a what's the word I'm looking for? The Bible isn't written, in a sorted or structured way, but rather you have scattered precepts all over the scriptures that connect to each other. Case in point, Daniel the 7th chapter, Revelation the 17th chapter, going into the beast that is currently ruling on the earth right now. Case in point again, all the precepts in the New Testament that is directly quoting the Old Testament, right? Case in point again, the precepts in the book of Samuel and the book of Kings and the book of Chronicles that are all going into the same time period but give specific details in between each other, right? The Gospels are the same way. And I even have a Bible right here that has precepts in it that basically just has what and the strong and the bulletin even does that, but the bulletin calls it cross references, okay? The blue letter also has that, but it calls it cross references, and that's what we mean when we say precepts. But this guy right here, his own idea of precepts, and I can't really go to any timestamp in the video because for the most part, his arguments are all over the place, and you only really get structured arguments in some few places in the actual video. So let me see if I can find any of them. So, YouTube and their ads. Okay, skip.
Seek thy precepts. I seek the law. How many of you seeking the law? How many of you seeking the commandments?
And yeah, like I said, precepts. The word precept goes is going into law, the commandments. The law, the commandment, the law, the statute, the commandments, right? But what you jakes have forgotten or failed to understand is that the law isn't just from the book of Leviticus to the book of Deuteronomy. The law isn't just the last four books of Moses, right? But rather the law is all of the Bible. Old Testament, New Testament, Apocrypha, the laws are contained within all of the scriptures because of the things that, because the commands that Lord Yahushua gave us exist in the New Testament, right? The prophecies of old exist in the Old Testament, and even in the book of Ezekiel, there are still laws being given to our people that the priests not cut their hairs, not shave off their head, but pull their hairs, right? That should be the book of Ezekiel, the 44th ish chapter, where our people are commanded to go out to the highways and byways and prophesy. That is in the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, so on and so forth. So this is the book of Joshua 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So when you're talking about the book of the law, right, which is the scriptures, of course, is it only talking about, from Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, right, which are, you know the books of Moses, right, the Torah, or is it talking about all of the scriptures, right? Old Testament, Apocrypha, New Testament. We're talking about the whole scriptures here, and that's why we say precept upon precept, not just precept upon precept, or I should say it, translate it, law upon law, not just law upon law, line upon line. Okay, so every line in the scriptures, and if you can think of another scripture that connects with the lines that are in the scriptures, you can do that, right? Here a little, here a little, and there a little, right? So that's how the understanding comes. Because the reason why we go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, isn't just because that's how the scriptures are structured, but also because that's how you get true understanding of the scriptures. Because you might read a passage in one part of the scriptures, right? But the full understanding for that comes from another part of the scriptures where it is expounded upon even more. And let me give you an example. So this is the book of Revelation 17, verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So here we see waters being used as nations and peoples, and in other words, the whole world, oikomene, right? So let's go to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. So this is the book of Daniel 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and four beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Right? And what does this sea represent? Nations, multitudes, and tongues. Because just like we read in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter, the great sea, the great waters represent the people. And that's where the four beasts came out of. Because if you read on down in this Daniel, the 7th chapter, it will tell you that these four beasts represent four kingdoms that will rule upon the earth. Okay, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Even in the New Testament, you had some of the apostles, right, using this same example, right, going precept upon precept, right, going line upon line, here a little and there a little, in order to break down parts of the scriptures that in their letters, specifically the Apostle Paul. But I'm not really sure if this Prince of Power is a New Testament. He believes in the New Testament. So I'm not really sure about that. I'm not going to say that part, but now, that, yeah, that's basically the point right there. Okay, you can't really call out the one West camps for following the precept doctrine, okay, because it is scriptural and it is the only way to fully understand the mystery of the scriptures. Or else, let me not say the only way, but without it, you cannot fully understand the mystery of the scriptures. That's a better term to use. So with that, I'll end the video right here. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwa Dash, Wa Ban Babal, Shalom.